It's an industry that has always practiced a certain...
This is a new industry.
Well, no. I mean, around the world. For example, the locals who are here working on the rigs, etc., don't earn like the Ghanaians who have been employed and working in Nigeria, etc. And by experience and interaction with
let's look at examples. In Saudi Arabia, in Norway, are you saying that if I go to Norway or Saudi Arabia and I have the same...
You earn more than the Norwegian?
Norwegian, even if you have the same skills.
Okay, I get your point.
Far higher. Almost 3 times.
There are Ghanaians who left Tor and working in Qatar who are earning more than the Qataris doing the same thing because they are factored as expatriates.
At what level? That's what we are talking about.
As
expertise.
The issue of the
magnitude.
Yes,
the issue of the expatriating will have to come in. And what is the industry practice? What were the terms and conditions under which the people were there? I'm against discrimination in whatever form, but I'm also against declaration of strike because you feel that somebody is paid more than me. Just on the basis of that, without looking at even the tax regime that operates to those persons, because you may not know the tax regimes that
when they are students and they are in
as far as those persons
when they are in government and earning, they are on the far right. If you try to be in the middle small, now, this whole morning your posture has been anti-labor, anti-labor, anti-worker.
What is the anti-labor here?
Your history doesn't give
what is anti-labor here?
Your history doesn't give you
No. What is? I'm really disappointed in the politicization and partisanization of this discussion.
That is the most interesting aspect of this whole thing. You say you are politicizing it.
No.
What is politics? Politics is running the country.
No, but
you are not running the country.
Realistically, I don't think the labor issue has been politicized.
What about that? Run the country. If you are not running the country,
there is an issue that has been tabled for us to look into. Workers have declared a strike based on a certain belief that somebody is earning more than, without providing us with details. Well, we are doing an industry analysis.
We have to wrap up.
And then as a result of that, you say, oh, what is being anti-labor?
Yes.
What is the anti-labor about this?
You are not taking...
Oh, no.
You start with...
Don't think that... This is what makes people think that... This is why people think that your party is behind these strikes. It is these comments that make people think that MPP is behind these strikes. It is comments like this.
So you agree?
It is comments like this.
That we are behind these strikes.
It is comments like this. No, if you make comments like this, of course you are just getting the leaders. You are getting the leaders, not the entire workers.
What I'm saying is
you are getting the leaders. It is comments like this that are, for me, it's uncalled for. We've had a good discussions, but you don't conclude the way you have concluded.
The government is showing that government is anti-labor.
Government is never anti-labor. Look at what this government has done. Government is never anti-labor.
All right, that's what
you are showing that you are anti-labor.
I want to get some conclusive
prove it that you are not anti-labor.
Kofi Adams. So now, what do we do? Government workers. What should we be heading by the end of the week? Because if we don't get it, it means that we're 2 weeks running.
Government has indicated very clearly that it has been ready to meet the workers. Government has indicated clearly that it has not done anything against the law. Government has indicated clearly that the funds are secured and that all those who will be going on pension come January, they will have their funds. Nothing is going to happen to it. Government has given all the necessary assurances. Labour says that no, we have our own schemes, we want to run it. And government feels that no, we don't think that that is the case. That is not what the law says. I believe that it is only sitting and talking and understanding that is the way to go. If you listen to all the experts that have spoken on this matter, they have thought that the strike, I think, is premature. They themselves admit that they didn't even go through the laid down process of the Labour Act that says do this, do that before possibly you go on a strike. They didn't even do that. So I think that they should sit and negotiate as they agree themselves. This is a government that is labour friendly, that will listen to the worker, that will sit down and then judge all with them, but also within law. It must happen within law.
The average person thinks that the country is not being run well. We jump from one crisis.
By what survey do you
draw
those?
Because at least if you listen to voices, people you interact with.
You're an MP, so
people you interact with, people who speak on radio, people even the media. The average person thinks that we are jumping
there's some level of despondency.
Yes, we are jumping from one crisis to the other. And if the government in power thinks that is the opposition which is making the crisis to come one after the other, that means that the opposition is very powerful. Without even showing our hands, we are able to teleguide all these things. And if that is how government thinks, that means that the government will always be taking the wrong steps, and government will not be addressing the problems, government will not be addressing the issues, and the nation will be grinding to a halt by this attitude.
Nagra president is MPP communication director. Are you aware?
The average union leader wants to satisfy his followers. He couldn't be bothered about whether it's party A or party B. If you're able to satisfy him, for him to also convince his leaders that this is the way to go, you have done your job. But for you to think that a student leader has MPP inclinations, a NAT leader has MPP inclinations, a TUC leader has MPP. Now you list all the unions in the world, they are all MPP. Then why are you in government? Then sit somewhere for MPP to come and run government. What you are telling us is that when MPP comes, then there will be no strikes. Because all the people
because you manipulate and get the rest to be suffering, and then you even worsen the leaders. You'll be paying the leaders. You'll be paying the leaders and let the rest suffer. That's why you do solve problems. That's why you have always done. That's why you have always done. You pay the leaders and the rest suffer. You don't care.
He's a member of parliament for FPSO, a member of the MPP, and thanks for joining me.
He was more votes.
I'm saying you pay the leaders and then leave the rest.
We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Do you know Nagrat?